Hello dear students. Today I will discuss lecture 2nd, that is part 2nd of unit 6 metallurgy. As in part 1 I had discussed about minerals, ores, gangue, slag, flux and the flow diagram of metallurgy. Now in the continuation in lecture 2nd, that is part 2nd, here I have discussed about how we can concentrate the ore obtained from minerals. So dear students, after studying part 2, we will be able to explain about concentration of ore and its various method, that is hydraulic washing, magnetic separation, froth flotation method. These are the basically physical method of separation, and one chemical method, that is leaching. So these are about the concentration of ore. And then you know about some solved question based on the above topic, which are more important for examination point of view. So nowadays students, let us start the concentration of ore. It is also known as dressing or benefaction. Just like a dressing means here, we dress up our face, our body to remove impurity. Like here also, the ore are concentrated to remove the impurity. So that's why this is also known as dressing. So nowadays students, the removal of unwanted materials, for example sand, clays, etc. from the ore is known as ore concentration or benefaction or dressing. It can be carried out by various methods depending upon the nature of ore. One more thing you have to know that this concentration depends upon difference in physical property of the compound of metal present and that of gangue. So dear students, now we have to focus on the method of concentration. The first method is, this is physical method, the hydraulic washing. This method is also known as gravity separation or also known as levitation. So first of all, you have to know about the principle, that means on which principle this method are used. So the principle are, this is based on the difference in gravities, that is densities of the ore and gangue particles. This method commonly used for oxide ore such as hematite, tinstone, carbonate ores and also native ore of gold, silver, etc. In this process, what happens basically? The lighter earthy materials, that means impurities, are removed from heavier ore by washing with water. That's why this is called as levitation. Here one diagram are seen. So this gravity separation can be done by either Will-Flay table or hydraulic classifier. So this diagram is basically known as Will-Flay table. This is basically a wooden table having a slanting floor on which long wood strips called riffle are fixed. Look the diagram properly. Now the powder ore is suspended in a stream of water. The heavier ore particles collect behind the riffle and the gangue particles are carried out away from the disc apparatus, that is in containers with the stream of water. So this is basically about the hydraulic washing. One more method is also here for this separation, that is known as hydraulic classifier. So out of two methods, one is used for separation of this type of ore which contains oxides, that is hematite, tinstone, sometimes carbonate ore and also sometimes native ore of Au, that is gold and silver. Nowadays students, the second method of separation is known as electromagnetic separation. As the name indicate, electromagnetic separation. So that's why here you also have to know that about the principle. So this is based on the differences in magnetic properties of ore components, that is ore or gangue. Gangue is basically the impurities which are attached with the ore particles, which can be removed by adding the flux by formation of slag. So here we can remove the gangue by the electromagnetic separation. So this method is basically used for the chromite ore, that is iron containing ore, from removal of siliceous gangue particles. Here look the diagram. This diagram indicates that the powder ore is dropped on the belt from one end, that is non-magnetic, and at the other end, that is magnetic. The magnetic particles are attracted and fall near to the roller, while the non-magnetic particles fall away from the roller. This type of mechanism you have seen in the when you go to the flour mills for grinding the wheat. Here also rollers are present. So that type of rollers are here also. But these rollers contain two type of rollers. That is one magnetic roller and one is non-magnetic. So by this way you can separate those ore particles which have magnetic property, just like the iron containing ore. So this is second method of separation, that is known as electromagnetic separation. So here you have to also learn that the principle behind the electromagnetic separation. Now dear students, the third physical method, that is known as froth flotation method. This method you have seen so many times in your houses also, that is also known as centrifugation, to remove the cream from the milk. Similarly here also we have to use froth flotation method. So first of all you have to know about the principle. So this method is based on the preferential wetting of ore particles by oil and that of gangue particles by water. So now think about that. When anything that are wetted by oils become light, and when anything wetted by water become heavy. So that's why this can separate the heavy gangue particles from ore which are wetted by oils. Next thing you have to know that if this method is used basically for concentration of sulfide ore. Here one diagrams are given here. So look the diagram properly and try to understand about the process of froth flotation method. So now the powder ore is added to the water containing pine oils, that is frothing agents, and sodium ethyl xanthate, that is collecting agents. Here cresol and anilines are also added, which stabilize the froth formed in this process. A vigorous stream of air is now passed through, which thoroughly agitates, that is mix the mixture and dispose the oil into colloidal sized particles. As a result of this, the sulfide particles of the ore stick to the oil's droplet and rise to the surface in the form of froth supported by air bubbles. Now water wet the gangue particles which sink to the bottom. By this method, it is possible to concentrate the dense ore of galena, that is PBS, and zinc blend, that is ZNS. So this is about the diagram. To look the diagram properly, one circle is also denoted here. The enlarged view of an air bubbles showing the mineral particles attached to the air bubbles. The outer portion show the mineral particles by the air bubbles. So this is all about the froth flotation method. Now dear students, some more points related to froth flotation method we have to know that. So these important terms are stabilizer. So the froth can be stabilized by addition of stabilizer. That stabilizer may be anilines or cresol. Anilines means the ring contains NH2 and cresol means the ring contains OH and at ortho position CH3. Now then, one more terms you have to know in relation to the froth flotation method, that is collector. It increase the non-wettability of ore particles by water. For example, pine oils, xanthates and fatty acid. So that means by addition of these oils, the ore particles are wetted and gangue particles are wetted by water. So that's why it increases the non-wettability of ore particles. So here some examples are given, that is pine oils, xanthates and some fatty acid. These work as collectors. Here you have to learn about the name of collectors. So one questions may be arises, write the name of stabilizer used in the froth flotation method or name the collectors which are used in the froth flotation method, and what is the use of collectors here. So basically collectors increase the non-wettability of ore particles by water. Then some other terms you have to know, that is depressant. This is also most important. When the depressant can be used, you have to know that these are used to prevent certain type of particles from forming the froth with the air bubbled. For example, NaCN or KCN can be used as depressant in the separation of Zn and PbSO. So now the Zns is found to be an impurity with the lead sulfide, that is galena. Therefore, to separate out PbS from Zns, depressant KCN or NaCN is added. So the reaction take place like this. The PbS plus NaCN, they do not form any complex. That means NaCN do not react with the PbS. This is basically due to very low solubility product of PbS. But when Zns are react with NaCN, it form a complex which are water soluble. So that's why this complex settle down and PbS now come in the form of froth. So by this way we can separate the PbS from Zns. That's why the PbS, when separated from Zns by using the NaCN, this process is known as depressant and the chemical is known as depressant. Now dear students, next chemical method that is also important, known as leaching. So leaching basically is often used if the ore is soluble in some suitable solvent. This method basically applied for AAA, that is aluminum, Ag and Au. Here the leaching of aluminum can be done by a chief ore of aluminum, that is known as bauxite. So bauxite is leached with a hard concentrate solution of NaOH. It is a base which dissolve aluminum, while other oxide, that is basically the gangue particles or impurities Fe2O3, TiO2, SiO2 remain undissolved. This process is basically known as Bayer's process. In this process the following reaction take place. Here you have to learn the reactions of leaching. Al2O3, that is pure alumina, impure alumina plus 2NaOH plus 3 water. When reacted, it form a complex, that is NaAlOH का whole 4, known as sodium aluminate. Then sodium aluminate, here you have to pass CO2 gas which neutralize the solution of sodium aluminate and form hydrated alumina, or you can say hydrated aluminum oxide, Al2O3 water plus 2NaHCO3. Then this hydrated alumina is filtered, dried and heated to give pure alumina. So these three reactions you have to learn in the process of leaching. This question is asked in the board examination of 2020. How can you define the leaching and write the reaction involved in the leaching. Now dear students, after studying about the concentration of ore, you have to know about the questions asked in the board examination on the above topic. So here some solved questions based on the above topics are given. The question number 1. In the extraction of aluminum, impure Al2O3 dissolve in concentrated NaOH to form sodium aluminate and leaving impurities behind. So what is the name of this process? So think about this. The question is lengthy, but the answer is very small. So you have to only write the name of process. So the process name is leaching. Now second question, write the principle of following method, that is froth fluidation method. So this I also told you that if for every concentration method you have to learn the principle behind them. So here the solution of this question, the principle behind this method is that the sulfide ore is preferentially weighted by oils while gangue is preferentially weighted by water. Now the third question, describe the role of following NaCN in the froth fluidation process. This is also very important. NaCN work as depressant. So now answer is NaCN is used as a depressant in the froth fluidation process, which selectively prevent ZNS from coming to the froth but allow PBS to come with the froth. So by this way you have to write the answer to the given question. Now question number 4. What is the function of collectors in the froth fluidation process for concentration of ore? This I also told you that the collectors enhance the non-wettability of mineral particles. The collectors used are pine oils, sodium xanthate, etc., which work as collectors. Now question number 5. What role is played by CO2 in getting pure alumina Al2O3 in the extraction of aluminum? So this I also told you that the aluminate in the solution is neutralized by passing CO2 gas. So that means CO2 gas neutralize the basic action of aluminate, and then you get hydrated Al2O3 is precipitated. So by this way you can apply the CO2 to find the pure alumina in the form of hydrated oxide. Question number 6. Which of the following ore can be concentrated by froth fluidation method and why? So here also again the three ore name are given: oxide, sulfide and oxide again. To the method used by froth fluidation method is for basically sulfide ore, because the sulfide ore are weighted by oils, and you know that oil also contains sulfur. So you can also say light dissolve like. So that's why the sulfur containing compounds can be concentrated by the oils which contain sulfur also. Now dear students, self assessment test. Question number 1. Here self assessment test means, first of all you have to listen the PPT videos and make a notes properly, and then find the answer by yourself. Why it is it that only sulfide ores are concentrated by froth fluidation process? Your answer is maybe in term of wettability. Then what type of ores can be concentrated by magnetic separation method? This I also told you, those ores which containing magnetic property. Question number 3. Describe the principle controlling the following process: preparation of pure alumina from bauxite ore. This I also told you in the form of Beer's process. Now question number 4. Froth fluidation process is based on, here 4 options are given. Do you know that the optional questions may be given in the board examination? So option number 1 is specific gravity of ore particles. Option number 2, magnetic property of the ore particles. Option number 3, wetting property of ore particles. And option number 4, electrical property of ore particles. So froth fluidation is based on which property? You have to think and find the answer out of 4 option. Now question number 5. In which of the following minerals aluminum is not present? So this question answer you have to find from the type of ores given in the first lecture and by their formula. Their 4 options are given: cryolite, mica, feldspar, fluorspar. So by this ore particles and their type you have to find the answer of this question. Now dear students, again do all work in the classwork copy. Prepared a note with the help of PPT video. Stay safe, stay healthy and keep learning. Thank you. Now to be continued.